we're going to keep this moving. Let's go ahead and bring over our next guests. Some of the best names that I get to say all day long. Kellen O'Keefe, President and CEO of Flower One, along with Richard Groberg, Interim CFO of Flower One. But the ticker, how can you not like this ticker? It's FLOOF, FLOOF. And then what is it? FONE on the CSE. Did I get that right, guys?
You did. Thank you,
Awesome.
Patrick. It's great to
be here. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. It's great having you. I always enjoy seeing you guys. I'll let you get down to it. I'm sure we'll have some questions for you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone, for taking the time to learn more about Flower One. It's exciting. It's a very exciting time for the company and for Las Vegas and Nevada in general. So we're very excited to be here today. Flower One is the largest cannabis cultivator, producer, and full-service brand fulfillment partner in the state of Nevada. Today, we represent approximately 20% of the wholesale market in the state and produce or own several of the top-selling brands in Nevada. By combining more than 20 years of greenhouse operational excellence with best-in-class cannabis operators, Flower One is able to offer consistent, reliable, and scalable fulfillment to some of the most powerful brands in cannabis. Flower One's leading in-house brand, NLVO, gives me great pleasure to announce, is now the top-selling flower brand in the state, according to the most recent BDS analytics reporting. Flower One currently produces a wide range of products, from flower to full-spectrum oils and distillates to finished consumer packaged goods, including a variety of pre-rolls, concentrates, edibles, topicals, and more. Our Nevada footprint includes the company's flagship facility, which is a 400,000 square foot high-tech greenhouse and a 55,000 square foot production facility, as well as a second site with a 25,000 square foot indoor cultivation facility and a commercial kitchen. Our flagship facility is considered to be one of the most technologically advanced and highest yielding cannabis facilities in North America, and we have built an industry-leading team focused on becoming the first high-quality, low-cost brand fulfillment partner in the industry. Jumping over to page 6, I'd like to talk a little bit about our brand partners. Core to the company's overall strategy is our unique ability to facilitate and accelerate the entry of cannabis brands into the Nevada market. Currently, it is not permissible for cannabis to cross state lines. All cannabis products legally sold in Nevada must be grown and produced in Nevada. This significant barrier to entry creates an excellent opportunity for Flower One to produce for some of the industry's top performing brands. Whether it's through our brand partner program or our wholesale business, our clients make up the top performing brands in nearly every category. As you can see from this slide, we have built an industry-leading brand portfolio comprised of some of the most powerful brands in cannabis: Cookies, Old Pal, Kiva, Heavy Hitters, 22 Red, Lift Tickets, Palms, The Clear, and more. Our brand portfolio allows us to maximize the value of our product and provide retailers with a single source solution to supplying and filling their shelves on a weekly basis with the right product mix. We are very excited about the future of our brand partner program and the ongoing effort to further develop and launch Flower One's in-house brands, such as NLVO, which I mentioned earlier is now among the top-selling brands in the state of Nevada. Jumping to page 7, I want to talk a little bit about Nevada itself. Nevada is one of the strongest and fastest growing recreational cannabis markets in the United States. Despite the impact of the pandemic on tourism, the Nevada cannabis market grew in size from 2019 to 2020. This was extremely positive data and proved that the local market in Nevada was far stronger and represented a larger percentage of the total market than previously estimated. This also indicates that there is significant upside and room for growth as tourism returns to Nevada. We expect things to come back in full swing with all restrictions lifted on June 1st. With retail sales in Nevada averaging around 85 million a month, and with March retail sales hitting an all-time high of 96 million, total cannabis sales in Nevada could easily exceed $1 billion by year end. We're very excited about the future for cannabis in Nevada, and we're very excited about the position that we represent inside the market. What's very unique to Nevada as well is the lack of existing greenhouse infrastructure. Unlike other large agriculture states such as California or Arizona, Nevada has very little to no greenhouses available for conversion. Due to this fact, our flagship facility and flagship greenhouse provides us with an unprecedented advantage over the biomass production in the state. As the state's high-quality, low-cost producer, we are able to produce a variety of key ingredients with industry-leading at a lower cost than anyone else in the Nevada market, Through our strategic partnerships with industry-leading MSOs, brands, and retailers, we have the ability to become the industry's leading seed-to-shelf brand fulfillment partner, utilizing this, again, very unique, high-quality, low-cost production capability that we have in the facility. Jumping to our development timeline, I'd like to talk a little bit about how quickly this facility came to life. Our company began construction of the flagship greenhouse in May of 2018, then launched commercial operations with its first harvest in May of 2019, and then commenced the first sale in September. This aggressive and unprecedented development timeline was driven by a large-scale commercial agriculture approach towards cannabis, aimed at becoming the industry's low-cost producer. The strategy required the company to attempt several new and unproven standard operating procedures and techniques to reduce the amount of time required to dry and cure cannabis in the post-harvest. The original design and standard operating procedures launched at the greenhouse were slightly ineffective and did require a number of significant changes. We were originally producing cannabis in the facility that was at a significantly lower quality and therefore needed to be sold at a significant loss to the company. Given the circumstances, the company was forced to begin prioritizing quality over quantity. With the addition of new management talent, followed by the company securing several premium new brand partners throughout the year, we were forced to reconsider our approach and take a number of steps to alter the facility's design and standard operating procedures to accommodate the unique requirements of producing premium quality cannabis. Jumping to the performance of our brands over the course of the year, as you can see, we were able to continuously improve the quality of our product, allowing us to capture additional market share and significantly increase the average selling price of our cannabis. By moving a variety of our product to premium brands over value brands, we were able to successfully increase our margin as well as, again, almost doubling the average cost of our cannabis. Our cultivation is our unique advantage here at Flower One. Our facility houses approximately 110,000 plants at any given time, of which 70,000 are in flower zones and capable of approximately 6 harvest cycles per year. Our average cost per gram at the facility is 58 cents, while the average cultivation cost for competitors in the state is estimated to be around $1.76 per gram. This is obviously a very unique advantage that Flower One has and continues to drive our high-quality, low-cost production. In addition to cultivation, we offer a number of extraction capabilities from ethanol to CO2 to LPG and are now introducing cold water and solventless. We have dramatically improved the quality of our product over the past year, as indicated by our success in the category. And we're very excited to bring a number of new products such as solventless and others to the market in the near future. Unlike other markets, if you look at the sales and distribution landscape in Nevada, Nevada does not allow for any wholesale activity on behalf of distributors. Licensed producers are responsible for managing the sale into dispensaries, and what actually soon will also be on-site consumption lounges. We maintain the relationships with all of our clients, and our products can currently be found in over 90% of the dispensaries in the state. Jumping to performance, very excited to announce that we've recently provided preliminary revenue guidance for our first quarter of 2021 of more than $13.5 million. That surpasses our previous highest revenue of 11.9 from the third quarter of 2020. When the effects of the coronavirus pandemic first began to affect Nevada in the second quarter of 2020, nearly all dispensaries purchasing came to an immediate halt. This forced us to take dramatic measures to greatly reduce production, planting only 2 of the 7 available zones in the greenhouse. The decision to reduce production ultimately proved to be the wrong decision, as we were unable to meet customer demand in both Q3 and Q4 of 2020. We still were able to achieve the company's highest recorded revenues in the third quarter, but again, unfortunately, we're unable to meet the demand in the market due to our limited supply. Despite the impact COVID has had on tourism in Nevada, cannabis sales remain better than anticipated throughout the year, confirming the strength of the local market and overall, in general, the general increase of cannabis consumption overall across the country throughout the pandemic. We expect that will continue, and we have seen the results and impact of that moving into 2021. Jumping to our restructuring. While many of the changes took place over the course of 2020 when it came to our product quality, a majority of the most significant changes at Flower One took place early this year, as the company went through a corporate restructuring, which included the addition of several new board members, new leadership, and the beginning of a successful debt restructuring. Our debt restructuring was significant as we were able to reduce our public convertible debt from $40 million to $16 million. We also added 2 new board members, independent board members to our board of directors, in Eliza Gerard and Mitchell Kahn. Mitch was the founder of Grassroots, which sold to Curaleaf for just under $1 billion and is also a director at Curaleaf. Both of their experience has been very valuable. In addition to our third independent member, Nitin, as well. We have, again, restructured our board and our attempt to bring forth best-in-class corporate governance as part of the new Flower One. As we jump to some of the Q1 highlights, again, this is very exciting as we continue to make extraordinary strides this year. You can see some of the many achievements that we've made. In addition to obviously reaching our all-time revenue goal, we've also been able to take a number of changes to our post-harvest and production processes that resulted in over 300% improvement in throughput, which is a huge indicator of future revenue as well. So we're very, very excited. The performance of the company can be tracked also by monitoring some of our brands and their performance in BDS, again, which according to latest reporting, we now represent several of the top performing flower brands in the state. So with that, I will turn it over to the group for Q&A and thank everyone again and appreciate everyone taking the time to listen to us.
It's our pleasure, man. Our pleasure. I really appreciate you rolling through that. And you may have touched on some of the questions that I had prepared for you. And then folks in the chat, if you have anything that you want to ask Kellen or Richard, let us know. I'm happy to pose those questions for you. But Kellen, Richard, let's dive in here for a second. So how the heck, during a global pandemic and amidst the shutdown restrictions, did you guys become the leading cultivator and producer in Nevada? I mean, you said it was a lot of effort, right? That everybody contributed to that effort.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really comes down to the people in our team. I really want to give them all the credit because we have some of the best people in the world on our team at Flower One, and they really all bound together and worked really hard during the pandemic to deliver those results. So very proud of the team. Again, a tremendous amount of hard work from every department, from cultivation to post-harvest to processing to our sales team. Again, a collective and collaborative effort. And again, very proud of the results as we sit today.
Yeah, as you should be, man. Congratulations. Given what you've said there, right? Just the overall efficiency, especially during a very tight time period, right? The recent record Q1 earnings. Operations seem to be rolling strong. What other catalysts should our investors be looking for? Are there more partnerships in store for you guys? Are you thinking about expanding the overall brand footprint? What's down the road?
Well, that's a great question. What's really exciting is, given the successful restructuring that we've just undergone, we now have a number of options that are far different than we were looking at, just several months ago. Whether that be to vertically integrate inside the state of Nevada, whether that be to look at another state where there are assets with similar characteristics as ours that would benefit from a platform such as ours. We have a number of opportunities. There's also a number of new states coming online across the country that are very exciting as well. So right now, we're highly focused on the state of Nevada. We are, continuing to hit milestones here, and are, going to remain focused on our goals here in the state of Nevada. But it's good to know that we do have optionality and are now being approached in a way that was far different than it was several months ago.
If I may amplify that a little bit, just in our core state, there's significant growth opportunities in the state as tourism rebounds. We're seeing that in our weekly sales. We have more progress to make in terms of increasing capacity and throughput and quality. While we've made great strides, we're continuing to bring down our overhead, and through selective automation, we'll continue to bring that down more. So if you're looking for signs going forward, I would look at revenue volume and overhead, and that at some point further steps we'll take to reduce high-cost debt, which will obviously further increase net profitability and cash flow.
Sure. Well, here's a question from Mark in the chat here. Does Floof, thank you, Mark, supply cannabis to Planet 13, or would they be considered a competitor?
No, they're a great customer of ours, and we've over the past several months in particular, we've dramatically and exponentially improved the amount of business we're doing together. So no, we look at them as a customer and a great customer, and yes, we will continue to supply them.
Yeah, and a darn good location that you can supply right there.
Yeah, sure do.
Yeah, I've been in there a couple times. So Kellen, when it comes to, or Richard, when it comes to next steps for you guys, right? And you alluded to this a second ago, that the options are on the table, right? What excites you? And let's take this a step further. What would need to be in place for you to take action on an opportunity, right? Would the stars need to align financially? Would it need to align in the right market? What exactly will you be looking at as you assess those things?
Sure, that's a great question. I mean, look, our goal is to share cannabis with the world. We believe everyone deserves access to quality cannabis at an approachable price. We want to take this brand portfolio that we've worked with and our incredible team and our platform into new markets eventually. But as I mentioned, it really does come down to the opportunity. As a business, we are extremely focused on Nevada and want to make sure that we don't make the mistakes of other cannabis companies and spread ourselves too thin or try to take on or develop too many sites at once. So again, we want to be very strategic and thoughtful about our approach, making sure that we will not bite off more than we can chew, and being very, very thoughtful about capital allocation, given the company's history. So it's something that, I believe, given the circumstances in cannabis, we have to be opportunistic, because you never know when the right opportunity and the right terms will present themselves. But I think it really will come down to the terms and the deal, because again, I think in cannabis that's very, very important, and
sure.
We don't want to take the wrong step. So we're going to be very thoughtful and take a lot of things into consideration before we move into another market.
That's great. And I've got another question in the chat that I want to get to in just the last minute that we've got here. But at the last conference that we hosted, we had a single state operator panel, right? SSOs to watch, right? Or SSOs on the rise, if I remember correctly. So, I mean, people or companies, let's say like a Trulieve or a Gage or, Curio Wellness out of Maryland, C3 for a while. They were on here a few before you guys. We're single state for a while. There is definite benefit to that model, it seems. That sort of, maybe fast follower, to use the financial term, model being efficient here. But let's take Michael's question to close us out. Does Flower One have any gross margin improvement goals, objectives in the future? And he's got a follow up here. Will there be any capital raises coming in the near term?
Sure. So from a gross margin improvement and goals perspective, yes, we are always working to make improvements there through our allocation plan, through our portfolio, through various automation factors that are coming into our business, whether that be through post-harvest and packaging or labeling. So we are always looking to improve our margins, and we believe there's a number of areas for improvement that we will be able to do so. And we have no immediate plans to raise capital in the future. We're taking a very hard look at our facility and the CapEx requirements and things that we need moving forward. But as of today, we have no immediate plans to raise capital.
Great. Well, Kellen, Richard, that brings us to the end of our time here, but I really appreciate you being with us. Flower One, again, FLOOF on the OTC and FONE on the CSE. I really appreciate you guys coming, and we'll be following.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much for having us, Patrick. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Our pleasure to have you. Thanks very much.